show uploaded. Okay, so last week we stopped at the relationship between science, technology, and engineering. And that's where we're going to start from today. So I'd like you to take a look at the picture screen. I'd like you to take a look at the picture on your screen. And I'd like somebody to tell me what to think about technology in all of this. I want us to discuss this picture again, but I don't want only one person to be the one that will do all the discussion. So I want as many as possible. So you will indicate if you want to speak by raising up your hand as indicate using the reactions, then I will recognize you speak. So I'd like somebody to pick. There are 4 things here I want us to discuss. Now, society and nature, science, technology, engineering. Now, so I like somebody to pick anyone of interest in any of these 4 and then discuss or tell me what you think using this diagram as we have it. So if you want to speak on that, please let me see your hand. So who is speaking, please? Nobody has indicated. Now, if nobody is indicating, I have a way of making everybody to do this. All right. So I give you one more 30 seconds. I'd like to see who wants to speak on any of this. If not, I will take the next line of action. I want you to raise up your hand before you speak. I don't just want anybody to burst into the class and speak without being recognized. So if you are interested in speaking, please indicate. Right, Odukoya Victoria, please go ahead.
So, okay, good evening, sir. So, I'm going to pick technology. How does technology connect to engineering? The relationship between technology and engineering. Okay, for example, in terms of technology, when we are talking about machines, when we are talking about production machines, machines are used for productions. Actually, it comes from engineering field. As a metallurgical and materials engineering student, we are involved in metals and material selection. What type of material can we use for the fabrication of this machine? What type of material are we going to use for the fabrication of machines, and what are their properties? Are they good for this machine? What is the suitable metal or material for producing machines? So basically, as an engineer, we are also involved. In fact, I would say we are the word behind technology in terms of machine production. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comment. I saw another hand, and well, it seems the person has lowered the hand. Do we have any other person picking any other thing? You can still pick technology. if you think what the earlier speaker said is not totally correct or totally or comprehensive enough, you want to add to it or you want to challenge it. So please, like I mentioned in the last class, I like to see your screen name as your matric number and your name. Don't type your name in the chat box. I don't need that. I've said that again and again. Just make sure you have your screen name properly labeled, your matric number with your name. That's enough for me to take attendance for the class. Please let everybody comply. And I have said, if you don't comply, you are on your own. So whatever benefit that you accrue for your attendance in class, you miss it. So that's the issue with that. And if the university rule says you must have 65% attendance, and then your name is not on the attendance for up to that amount, it means you will also have a penalty. So please, in your own interest, matric number and your name, that's what I want to see. Do that if you are not, you have not complied. Okay. So, yes, who want to speak again? I've had a voice, a comment. So I like to hear it again. There are 4 things here, and I ask you to just pick one and speak on it. Somebody has picked one. You can still pick that same one if you have something extra. It seems nobody is interested. I'll go to launch a poll now on the screen in a moment. Then I will require now just check on your screen. There is a quiz now that I'd like you to just attend to. Everybody must attend to it. Just 3 questions are there. I'll give you just 3 minutes to do that. So please, your time start now. I believe you can all see on your screen. Okay. So I'd like everybody to stop at that. Okay. So let me see what we have as results. Your answers. I'll show that, see that in a moment. Okay. Some of you, these are the responses. The first question is, what is technology? And there are great responses from individuals. Somebody says an application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, application of science to solve human problems, practical use of scientific knowledge to create tools and systems that solve problems. Engineering technology is the practical application of science and engineering to a wide range of real-world problems. Another one says it's an application of scientific principles to make life easier and better. Okay, application of science to provide solution to problems. And I ask again, so how is technology different from engineering? Now, I gave you a diagram. And in that diagram, you can easily see the relationship. And if there is any difference, you could also see it clearly as indicated. All I simply wanted you to do was just to look at the diagram and then speak to that diagram as you see it, as you understand it. That's all I wanted you to do, but that's fine. I like all the many of the responses I got. So let's now look into the world of technology because it is very critical in this discourse about engineering in society. As you can see, the engineer cannot do much in society without the support of science and technology. Science provides the theories, technology provides the tools with which engineers produce products that benefit society and nature. And so that's the kind of relationship between them. So let's look at technology with a closer lens and see how technology has evolved over the ages and to where we are today. So what is technology? Here, we describe it as information techniques, tools with which people utilize material resources of the environment to satisfy their needs. Okay. And the ascent of man is a story of technology. When man began, from whatever story you want to come from, if you look at the story of development, civilization, there were times when there were no the kind of material tools we have today, but man used various things in their environment to survive, to weather the storm, to make life comfortable, like somebody mentioned in the response, to make life easier, to satisfy their needs. And then over the years, there have been a lot of improvement and development in this aspect. So that's technology. So let's look at the characteristics of technology. So just look at what you have on the screen. There are 8 listed here, but I'd like you to look at it and add your own. So technology is present in all cultures. It is not an exclusive right of a particular culture. It is not restricted to a particular culture. Every culture adds technology. So it is not some people that introduce technology. Yes, could be technology introduction at different stages of development, but everybody, every culture has technology. Okay, so it is knowledge-based and it involves application of knowledge to solve problems. So technology is knowledge-based. Use your knowledge to solve your problem. That is what we call technology. It is accumulative. It is fundamental to humanity and survival. It is observable and is future-oriented. It seeks harmonious relationship between human life and nature. Of course, it is an extension of human body and faculties. So just last week or so, there is this new technology called developed by a group called Neuralink. Now they just celebrated 100 days of the trial. And what does that technology do? For some individuals who had some disability with the use of their limbs, take for example, the hand. maybe due to an accident or some other issue, or maybe due to some sicknesses that paralyze certain aspect of body. So you have this device. Okay, I'm going to stop now. So wherever you are, well, we stop at that. Okay, so let me see what we have as results. Your answers. I'll see that in a moment. Okay, some of you, these are the responses. The first question is, what is technology? And there are great responses from individuals. Somebody says an application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, application of science to solve human problems, practical use of scientific knowledge to create tools and systems that solve problems. Engineering technology is the practical application of science and engineering to a wide range of real-world problems. Another one says it's an application of scientific principles to make life easier and better. Okay, application of science to provide solution to problems. And I ask again, so how is technology different from engineering? Now I gave you a diagram, and in that diagram, you can easily see the relationship. And if there is any difference, you could also see it clearly as indicated. All I simply wanted you to do was just to look at the diagram and then speak to that diagram as you see it, as you understand it. That's all I wanted you to do, but that's fine. I like all the many of the responses I got. So let's now look into the world of technology because it is very critical in this discourse about engineering in society. As you can see, the engineer cannot do much in society without the support of science and technology. Science provides the theories, technology provides the tools with which engineers produce products that benefit society and nature. And so that's the kind of relationship between them. So let's look at technology with a closer lens and see how technology has evolved over the ages. and to where we are today. So what is technology? Here, we describe it as information techniques, tools, with which people utilize material resources of the environment to satisfy their needs. Okay. And the ascent of man is a story of technology. When man began, from whatever story you want to come from, if you look at the story of development, civilization, there were times when there were no the kind of material tools we have today, but man used various things in their environment to survive, to weather the storm, to make life comfortable, like somebody mentioned in the response, to make life easier, to satisfy their needs. And then over the years, there have been a lot of improvement and development in this aspect. So that's technology. So let's look at the characteristics of technology. So just look at what you have on the screen. There are 8 listed here, but I'd like you to look at it and add your own. So technology is present in all cultures. It is not an exclusive right of a particular culture. It is not restricted to a particular culture. Every culture adds technology. So it is not some people that introduce technology. Yes, could be technology introduction at different stages of development, but everybody, every culture has technology. Okay, so it is knowledge-based and it involves application of knowledge to solve problems. So technology is knowledge-based. Use your knowledge to solve your problem. That is what we call technology. It is accumulative. It is fundamental to humanity and survival. It is observable and is future-oriented. It seeks harmonious relationship between human life and nature. Of course, it is an extension of human body and faculties. So just last week or so, there is this new technology called developed by a group called Neural. Now they just celebrated 100 days of the trial. And what does that technology do? For some individuals who had some disability with the use of their limbs, take for example, the hand, maybe due to an accident or some other issue, or maybe due to some sicknesses that paralyze certain aspect of body. So you have this device implanted into the brain of the individual. And so all he needs to do is just think about what he wants to do. And his thought will control something. For example, he wants to control a cursor on his computer. So by just thinking what he wants to do, then the cursor will move to do what he wants it to do. Or he's on a wheelchair and he wants to turn the wheelchair to the right. You know, instead of him having an human assistant that will always turn the chair for him, by just thinking that he wants to move right, then the wheelchair will by itself turn to the right. You know, so that's technology, and that is an extension of human body in a sense, you know. So these are technology, characteristics of technology. Now, you can add your own, like I mentioned. Do we have anybody want to add one or two to this list? What are the characteristics of technology? Do you want to add to it? Yes, who wants to add to it? This you can type in the chat box if you, okay, somebody has said it is dynamic. That's correct. It is dynamic. So it is not static, it evolves. Any other one? All right, so let's move on. So let's look at levels of technology. Let's look at levels of technology. So we can talk about levels since technology is present in all cultures and it evolves. Somebody says it's a product of necessity. That's good. Okay, necessity is the mother of invention. So let's look at the levels of technology. We can classify different forms. When we want to discuss technology, we can classify technology in various ways. So we can talk about technologies as per levels of technology. So we have what we call the low-level technology, and that's the technology that existed before 3,200 before Christ, 3,200 BC. So the characteristics of that technology at that time is basically primitive tools and machines, which could be natural, adapted, or manufactured at the low-level technology. So you have the tools available or the machines available at that time to include bows, arrow, spear, stone, hammer, axe, and things of such. The machines include lever, wedge, inclined plane, pulley, wheel and axle, and the likes. So we call these ones low-level technology. And they were the technology that came to be before 3,200. Now, some of them are still present today, but they were the predominant technology at that era. So we call them the low-level technology because of their level of application and what you could do with them. Okay. Now, then you have the next level, we call it intermediate level technology. So that technology that evolved between 3,500 BC till date, you still have them available and they are still evolving one way or the other in different form. So for this particular level, it is characterized by tools manufactured for multiple purposes in different sizes by use of different materials. Intermediate level machines, they differ from the primitive ones by the role of prime movers such as wind, water, and other natural forces, like the steam engines, electric motor, steam turbines, internal combustion, diesel engine, and all those. So those are the things that characterize the intermediate level technology. So with this, technology went to higher level and more things could be achieved by this level of technology. Then we then have what we call the high-level technology. So the high-level technology are those ones that came about since 1950 till date. Majorly, it was the advent of the computer technology. So we call that the high-level technology. So then you began to have automated machines. And so the emphasis at this level is a technology that will assist the mind, not the body. In the low level and the intermediate level technology, they physically focus on things that assist the body, mechanization, tools that you can use to ease the stress on the body. But with the high-level technology, they came about with tools that can ease the pressure on the mind, that will assist the mind, that makes the mind, that will do mind work, like calculator, computer. So those are the things that came with the high-level technology. And so we can then further characterize the high-level technology into two parts. One we call it 4DC, which depends on lay emphasis on standardization and automation. Then the other part is the information and communication technology, the ICT, which is revolutionizing the world even today. So those two are high-level technology, and as we have them even today. And that's one of the things that made this class possible at this time in your different locations, and we could be having this class. It's a result of high-level technology. So we try to differentiate between the 4D SIM and the ICT. Both are high-level technology, but they also also take different space in technological advancement. So while one is energy intensive, another one is information intensive. While one is standardized, the other one seems to customize. Now you see personalized advertisement coming to you in a way, not a general advertisement these days. It is a kind of improvement, you know. Today, it's easy for people to say they want to work from home. So those are characteristics of the ICT technology, not necessarily the 4DC. So there are so many differences you can see on that. So today we are talking about active society. Some people don't want to get employed into full employment anymore because they feel they could better use their time and achieve more by becoming a freelance, do multiple jobs, part-time basis, and all of that, instead of committing themselves into one organization into full employment. So today we talk about multi-skilling, not so much of specialized skills, but you now need to develop multiple skills. So as an engineer, you must be a well-trained, round, multidisciplinary engineer. So that is the demand of this time as an engineer that has to be active and relevant in the society. Okay, so look at the differences and you can decide. Now, going further, we can also talk in terms about technology, looking at industrial waves. Now, there are different ways people talk about industrial revolution. So in a breath, people will talk about industrial revolution. So you hear of first revolution, second revolution, third revolution. So currently they will say we are in the fourth revolution. So you hear of industrial 4.0, revolution 4.0. So that's where we are. But on the other hand, we can talk in terms of industrial wave, which further breaks it down to more compact description of the industrial revolution occasioned by technology. So we look at the first wave of industrial revolution, which came around 1770 to 1830. So what characterized that period are the mechanization, the iron or steel melting industry, water, power, textile, commerce. They became popular at that period. Then you have the second wave, which was which we call the Victorian prosperity. Then you have the steam power, the steam engine, rail, ship. Those are the era they came about. Then the third wave continued until 1945. Now, who can remind us one of the significant world events that happened around 1945? Hello? Hello? You said what? What? Just mention something, a world event that happened around 1945.
World War II, sir.
You said what?
Sir,
World War Three,
World War II. Yes, yes,
World
yes.
War II, and the creation of the atomic.
the end of World War II.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So you had the World War II around that period. But the third wave started since 1880 till 1945, and it was called the threshold age, marked with Great Depression. So it was around that time electricity came about, chemicals, internal combustion engines, steel, and stuff. So then you have the fourth wave from 1945 to 1990, and we call it the Cold War era, or the golden age of Keynesian full employment. So here you have the mass production, for the same paradigm of mass production, standardization and automation, elementary cybernetics, nuclear technology, automobiles, aircraft, petrochemical, space technology. All these came about during that phase of the world. Now, between 1990 and 2010, we call it the post-Cold War era. That was when we began to have digital networks, software, information and communication technology, biotechnology. There have been, of course, computer has been around well before that time, but you see, the computer you had that time is not exactly the same as the kind of computer you have today. Of course, there have been the introduction of the personal computer also revolutionized the computing world, which came, between the fourth wave and the fifth wave. Now, the ICT came about in the fifth wave, and that changed so many things. It is during that period we began to have email, the internet, and all of those. Now, from 2010 till date, we have entered another phase. So we have begun to have things like nanotechnology, a lot of radical resource productivity. So in the last 2-3 years now, the artificial intelligence evolution. Artificial intelligence has been around for many years, since the 80s. We've been talking about neural networks. So, but of course, even in the early 2000s, we've been teaching artificial intelligence even in Unilab. But between 2010 to date, the application has taken a new dimension, occasioned by advancement also in computing power. Then now, in the last 2-3 years, the machine learning aspects, the artificial intelligence has taken some new dimension with the introduction of the large language model, where you have ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, and all of those coming into the space now. It's changing a lot. Within the last few years, a lot has changed. A lot has changed beyond what we could have imagined. And it's bringing new dimension into almost aspect of life. And it's redefining what we do and how we do things. Redefining what we do and how we do things. Now you want to write a letter. You just need to have the idea, and then ChatGPT will write a comprehensive, letter for you according to your own dictate and tone. So it brings then us to, it makes us to begin to reassess some of the things we do, how we do things, even how we do things in this environment, in the academic environment. Now, as you are now, okay, I put up a poll the other time and I asked you to give some responses. It's very easy for you to just open ChatGPT and put my question there, and a very lovely, comprehensive response will be generated for you. Now, the question is this. So who is the owner of the knowledge? Or you claim to know it, and by giving me that response, but do you really know it? So the question now we are beginning to ask ourselves in this age now is not longer going to be the questions of what is, like I asked you just a while ago. So because asking what is, I give you an assignment and I say what is, we usually get the answer either way anyhow. So we begin now to move from what is into trying to examine if you can apply the knowledge that is available to you. ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, they can produce body of knowledge from sources that if you are to search by yourself, you cannot even imagine that they exist. Things that have happened in centuries past, documented. Some of these applications now will bring them out and generate knowledge, and they look very genuine, very real, original, and all of that. So, but you as the person using it now, can you apply those knowledge? Can you apply those knowledge? Do you know what to do in certain situation? All right. So even if Copilot gives you the information, do you know what to do with it? So that's going to be a kind of assessment we're going to be doing in this era. Otherwise, we will just be playing games with knowledge. So get to understand that. And so that will also define some of the things we will do. So we have a lot of information available for us in this wave. So how well do we apply them to our advantage? So we can also represent this graphically in this form, the various wave, and up to the sixth wave, still going forward, and all that. Some of the things predicted 50 years ago have come to reality. They are now our reality. And then you can imagine what will happen in another 20 years, you know, with the space, with the pace we are going. So it's at times is beyond imagination.
What is
All right. So now there's a question now again I'd like you to look at. Between technology and investment, which drives the other? So is it technology that drives investment or investment that drives technology? I'd like to hear your comments. So somebody says technology drives investment. Another person says investment drives technology. So I'd like you to explain. So who wants to speak for? Who wants to speak in favor of technology? Who wants to speak in favor of investment? So is it technology that drives investment or investment that drives technology? Yes, Odukoya, please go ahead.
Technology drives investment. In what sense? We can say when, for example, a particular let's say, let me use robots in this instance. When a particular robot is being produced, from we don't know that will be produced under the influence of technology. When different technology experts come together to create a particular product, then people that have the money to invest in it. For example, if that type of technology is something that will be beneficial to everyone, then it's something that people that have the money to invest in it will invest in it, and it will, what's it called? It will be able to go around to people that are in need of it. That's just my own point of view.
Thank you. You have spoken very well. So do we have somebody who wants to speak on the other hand? Yes, Samuel, I can see your hand.
Yes, sir. So I was going to say that they work hand in hand in the sense that one drives the other and the other drives the one. So technology drives investment in the sense that if you look at developed nations now, for example, or countries where they're having fast development. Take for example Rwanda. A lot of investors are coming to countries like that because they can see that there is a rapid growth in the technological advancements of those areas. Now, using that same case as an example, now see on Rwanda, you can see in where there's presence of that same when the people can see that there is investments, that there's money being invested into these countries, they tend to tends to drive innovation and technology. So for example, you see people hosting conferences and conferences and hackathons, for example, for innovation and technology. People tend to invest the money that they have into these functions for the fact that they see promises of rewards that.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So now you have both spoken well. The truth of matter is this. Technology and investment, which drives the other. So generally, a symbiotic relationship exists, but it also depends on the nature of the technology. Now, to be sure, when technology is disruptive, it beckons at investment. Otherwise, investment rise on product demand to seek out the appropriate technology. Okay? So that summarizes that relationship. All right. Now, so this is what we want, where we are on technology. So the assignment I'm going to give you now, which you do and submit again, as usual, you submit as usual to the same email address, and you submit by 11:50 of Sunday night. Is a very simple one, and this is it. Use the internet and whatever application available to you, and list 10 engineering technologies of the future. So 10 engineering technologies of the future. So then do a one-page write-up to justify the inclusion of any one of them on the list. So just pick one of the 10 you are listing, then tell us why you think it qualifies to be a technology of the future. So that's going to be the assignment for the week. Do we have any question or comments?